We must be the leaders we wish we had. Brené Brown. The New Face of Leadership, from Transactional to Empowering. Has Transactional Leadership Broken the System? By Kimmaree Thompson. A new era of leadership is emerging. A quiet revolution is reshaping leadership. It's not being led from podiums or press conferences. It's unfolding at boardroom tables, in community halls, around kitchen benches, and in Zoom rooms. People are beginning to question the old model of power and ask, what kind of leadership do we need now? The old archetype, hierarchical, transactional, image-obsessed, is no longer fit for purpose. It centers control, compliance, and short-term wins. It rewards loyalty over integrity, status over service. And as we've seen globally, it can fracture communities, fuel fear, and destroy value as it prioritizes personal gain over the collective good. The quest for a new sustainable model is gaining ground. It's quieter, more intentional, rooted in ethics, purpose, and the belief that leadership is not about domination, but about stewardship. Leadership that empowers rather than controls. What's broken with transactional leadership? Transactional leadership is built on, you do this, I'll give you that. It's the realm of deals, performance optics, reward and punishment, winners and losers. It thrives in systems where loyalty is demanded and dissent penalised. This model has become visible in politics and corporate cultures that reward power consolidation at the expense of community, ethics, and sustainability. As our daily news feeds are showing, it does not take long for global credibility to crumble, advanced economies to falter, and trust to vanish. At its core, transactional leadership prioritises short-term optics over long-term purpose, suppresses innovation and dissent, creates anxiety rather than purposeful motivation, breeds fear, mistrust, and disengagement, often disguises coercion or misuse of power as strength. Journaling reflection. Prompt. Where have you seen this kind of leadership cause harm, whether in the media, your workplace, your family, or your community? Stewardship over control. A new model. Stewardship recognises that leaders are caretakers of something larger than themselves, whether a team, a mission, a community, or a future. It is not passive. It's an active form of leadership grounded in responsibility without domination, influence without control, legacy over ego. Stewards. Nurture a shared vision and collective purpose. Build capability in others. Honour values over short-term victories. Empower others to rise. This model distributes power rather than hoards it. It is built on trust, purpose, and a sustainable long view. The traits of empowering leadership. As old systems falter, we have the opportunity to co-create a new face of leadership, one that looks, sounds, and feels different. History reminds us of this. During the World Wars, when men were overseas, women stepped into non-traditional roles. They became leaders in workplaces and communities, showing leadership could succeed in different forms. Today, leadership can once again become more inclusive, community-focused, and purpose-driven. Empowering leaders are curious over certain. They ask questions and seek to understand. Strengths, focused. They build from what works and develop the unique capabilities of others. Transparent and human. They don't pretend to be perfect. They monitor the impact of their actions. Collaborative by design. They know the best ideas often emerge from inclusive problem solving. Values-led. They anchor decisions in ethics, care, and future impact, not popularity. Builders of psychological safety. They create environments where people feel respected and safe to contribute. Journaling, reflection, prompt. Which of these traits are already visible in your leadership? Which would you like to develop further? Why this shift matters, especially now. In small businesses, regional communities, and purpose-led organisations, this shift is no longer optional. It is becoming essential for thriving, sustainable communities. As competition for talent increases, people are no longer willing to follow leaders out of touch with their values. They want to belong to the mission, not just the task list. For women and community-centred leaders, many of whom never fit comfortably into the command and control model, this is a moment of redefinition. The skills they've always carried, empathy, collaboration, foresight, nurturing, are now recognised as strengths. When trust and psychological safety rise, innovation increases, retention improves, collective resilience grows, systems adapt more effectively. This is not soft leadership. It is strategic, ethical, and necessary to future-proof local business and community organisations. What does empowering leadership look like in practice? Here are simple shifts that model empowering leadership. Swap. What should I do for who else has insight here? Hold space in meetings for reflection, not just reporting. Recognise that success looks different for different people. Honour both voice and silence. Wisdom often comes from those who pause before speaking. Ask for feedback regularly and act on it transparently. You don't need to overhaul everything at once. Simply notice when you choose to lead with intention and integrity. At times, command and control has its place, but sustainable leadership builds when empowerment is the default, not the exception. The legacy we leave. As transactional leadership reveals its limits, the organisations and communities that thrive will be those led by people with real values, real relationships, real vision, and a purpose-driven mission. The age of control for control's sake is in its extinction burst. What's emerging is a sustainable leadership model rooted in purposeful power, human dignity, and trust in the value of every member of a community. And here's the good news. You don't need permission to lead this way. You only need to decide it matters and act accordingly. For you to continue, what's one shift you could make or would like to